Hey, good morning. So I just wanted to give a little quick introduction of what the atomic wire is going to be. So pretty simple. It's entertainment news, pop culture news. But when I say pop culture, when I say entertainment, I'm not talking about gossip. I'm not going to be talking about politics. I could really care less what people do in their personal life. It's again, I don't care. The only thing that maybe occasionally, if something kind of overlaps because of a production of a movie or a TV show, that's something that we might be talking about. But the Atomic Wire is going to be a channel that myself, my wife B, and my good buddy Cameron will be kind of spearheading. Um, let's start off with last night we ended up having a chat with Louis on Nuke the Fridge. That turned out pretty well. We discussed about 30 minutes on everything that had to do with, the upcoming Star Trek stuff, some of the rumors, some of the news that's breaking. We talked a little bit about, Blade losing its director. But the one thing that we really kind of talked quite a bit about was, Ryan Reynolds announcing that Deadpool 3 is coming and Hugh Jackman is going to be part of it. Well, the crazy thing is, this morning, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds posted both on their all across their multi-platform of social media. They kind of explained a little bit. Well, that was also done tongue in cheek, but it's happening, guys, right? And I know that some people were wanting, and again, it still might happen. It's way too early to tell what this means to the Marvel universe, what it means to the X-Men characters. Will Wolverine survive? Coming over to the MCU, we do know that there's certain characters, certain actors, right, that have made it over, especially like in the Hulk world. So again, there's a really good possibility that Hugh Jackman is here to stay for maybe a few more movies. That's one guy that, if you look across, since he started, since X-Men 1, Bryan Singer's X-Men 1, he embraced his character. And I think that he's probably the best example. Yes, there's been some good movies. Yes, there's been some bad movies, and there's been some mediocre movies. But we did get, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, Days of Futures Past. We got him in Logan, which was probably the definitive, Wolverine movie. And they kind of explained, yesterday, James Mangold also kind of chimed in a little bit because, yes, a lot of people assumed Logan was dead. But this is, science fiction. This is the comic book genre, and no one is really truly dead. But at the same time, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman kind of brought up the fact that, Logan takes place in 2029, and Deadpool 3 will not be. Besides that, there is different multiverses. So I'm really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in this the next move for Wolverine. Again, it might be a one-off, okay? But again, I'm truly excited. But let's talk a little bit more about the Atomic Wire. The Atomic Wire will be focusing heavily on the genre that we love. Will we occasionally talk about some indie films? Yeah, sure, absolutely. We'll talk about all type of movies, but our heavy interest is obviously the genre films. This isn't my first step in this world. The years and years ago, the days of at that, Ain't It Cool News and Latino Review and some of the, before blogs were blogs, when we were just fanboy sites. I was there. I've been on many sets of movies. Actually, I will probably end up giving you guys a tour, not today because I'm actually headed to work, okay? But I do have a lot of memorabilia, stuff that I actually had signed on set of films. It was a different world, and at the end, thanks to Louis and thanks to my friend Kelvin from Splash Report, who was Latino Review, the original owner of Latino Review. I decided to come back and just dabble a little bit in this industry. just because I love it, right? I love it. And something that I also addressed yesterday when I was talking to, Louis, and this was a conversation that we also had with, Will Wheaton, from Star Trek, and for the new kids, Big Bang Theory. Um, Listen, the nerds won, right? And that's something that had been said, years ago, that they were going to remake a Revenge of the Nerds movie. And there's a director by the name of Kyle Newman who also directed The Fanboys, and it was going to be produced by McG. It actually got into production for it was in production for about 2-3 weeks when it got, production was halted. Actually, I was on set on that. I was actually working on that movie in Atlanta. But looking back now, I know the concept that Kyle Newman had, was that, we're all nerds now, right? That, jocks are nerds. So thinking about that, look, guys, it's true. The geeks, the nerds, we've won. It's become cool. And one of the things that, while I might be critical on certain shows, I'm never going to be, and movies, the one thing I want to be very clear, I'm not going to be hateful over them. There's any movie, any TV show that you watch, good or bad, there's been a lot of work put into them. So I will respect the work, and I will respect the process. If there is a problem that I see with it, sure, I will address it. I'm not going to disparage any of these filmmakers, because it takes a lot to get a movie made. It's not easy. So again, guys, welcome to the Atomic Wire. By the way, besides movies and TV shows and, collectibles that I will also be reviewing, we will also occasionally be talking about some, music events. And then also, you might see us pop in and out of Disneyland quite a bit. We are in Southern California, and we spend a lot of time at Disneyland. So between myself and my wife B, you might be seeing some of the food, stuff that Disney puts out on for their seasonal menu. Again, this is all going to be pop culture, fun stuff, never negative. Well, hopefully never negative. But please subscribe. We will need your support. Again, I'm not expecting to be the next Joe Rogan or Tim Pool or anything like that. I really care about is having an audience of one. At the end of the day, this is just me kind of venting, and the same thing with my wife, and the same thing with Cameron. If you guys want to come along on the ride, we would totally appreciate it. We thank you for your support, and look forward to discussing, all things nerdy, all things geeky. All right, guys, and we're actually right now. I just want to mention my friends in Florida. Be safe out there. I know it's kind of crazy. The hurricane's coming, especially the folks in Tampa Bay. Florida is my home state. We wish you guys a speedy recovery, because we know there's going to be some destruction out there. Be safe, be good, and I got to go to work, guys. So take care.